Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to CryptoCanucks. We are here with Jonathan and Mike, founder and co-founder of YINC. So guys, just tell us a little bit about your project and how you guys got started and what problems you guys are trying to solve.
Sure. So we'll start with the problem. The problem today is if somebody needs to hire a vendor for a service to complete a job, let's say you need to, let's take a serious job, so you need to, like I said before, remodel your kitchen. Who do you hire? The solutions out there are just not good enough. People actually, for the most part, people are going with the reference route. You call a friend, a sister, a neighbor, see who they use, and hire them because it's an important job to you. You want to make sure it gets done right. But that's not really a good solution for you because in the end of the day, if you're calling one guy, he knows you're not calling very many others, so he's likely to highball you, right? So we came up with the problems in the market. We came up with a list, and we realized that there's just no solution out there that really solves it all. Number one, who do you call? If you use Yelp, for example, and there are 2,000 plumbers serving in New York City, so you want to call a plumber, do you call the guy on page 1, page 2, page 102, right? Number two is the process. It's a very annoying process. It's time-consuming to explain a job, see if they could do a job, maybe send them some photos of the job, maybe have them come down, right? So just doing it once is hard enough. To do it 3-4 times to get quotes to compare is just too much. Last but not least is reviews. Most of you know you cannot rely on the reviews you see today. It's very easily altered, and putting all that aside, most of us don't even review. Do any of you review a vendor that you hired, right?
Very rarely.
Very
if
rarely.
they do a bad job, maybe.
Maybe if they do a bad job, exactly. Now get this, even if you did review, these vendors can easily pay Yelp or whatever company it is to delete or hide that review, right? So you can't really rely on what you see today. We came up with a simple solution, that's what's called YINC, that gives you the full control. YINC stands for you're in control. For any kind of service, whether it's a home service or photography, any service, for any kind of view, whether you're tech savvy or not tech savvy, old school or not old school, whether you're looking for the best pricing, customer service, or just rely on reviews. Our unique reverse bidding process creates a competitive urgency amongst the vendors who compete against each other for your job. They don't see what each other say, but they can see if anybody else is responding. So if I see 10 people responding, I won't waste my time. If I see 1 or 2 or 3, I will, but I'll be more competitive at the same time. It's fully open and transparent for the vendors. There's no middleman. They don't have to pay to respond or give a fee of the job, so they're fully in control as well. We get both sides of full control. A consumer can only rate a vendor if and once they complete and pay for a job. So you just finished a job, then you can rate. So we know that your review is from an actual completed and paid for job. In order to solve the problem of people not rating, we'll incentivize you, the consumer, after you finish a job, to rate that vendor, and we'll incentivize you even more to become what we call a referencer. So get this, you now have a system you come where you get the best pricing, customer service, whatever it is you're looking for any kind of user. You can not only rely on the reviews, but you can actually call someone who recently used that vendor. By the way, the reviews are stored on the blockchain, so they're tamper-proof, and we have a patent pending on this process.
That was going to be my next question. How are you using the blockchain to solve this problem? Yeah.
Good question. So the reviews, once they're signed off by the consumer and us, of course the consumer has to finish and pay for a job, it is then hashed and placed on the blockchain and is then tamper-proof. Even if you pay us as much as you want, YINC, we cannot tamper with it. You would know about it. So now you have real reviews and you have references because again we're paying you basically once you finish the job to do so. We're not just an idea, which a lot of companies are, not to down any other companies, but we've actually tested this out live already on both the consumer market for regular people, small business owners, and the commercial market for property owners. We had amazing successful leads. I'm happy to tell you about that if you'd like.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, let us know.
Sure. So one crazy lead we had was we had a bed bug situation, a sticky situation. We thought we had bed bugs. We sent out a lead. We got 4 responders. 3 of the exterminators responding saying, yes, they do look like bed bugs. It's going to take X amount of time. We have to come down. It costs you X to test it, and then to treat it, you have to dig around the house, and it'll cost you a few $1,000s. One guy responds, go to the store, go to the hardware store, buy this and this spray. It'll cost you about $10. So my mother right away, she's like, no, let's just hire the guys. It's bed bugs. I said, wait a second, let me analyze this further. I called the guy who said it was a few dollars, that it wasn't bed bugs. I asked him, I said, wait a second, the other guy said they were. So how could I know that they aren't, right? He said, any exterminator with any kind of experience knows right away, those are not bed bugs. They look very much alike, but they're called, I think it's called seasonal bugs, and this is why they're different. to the defense of the exterminators, they probably didn't realize you're talking to other exterminators. And their defense, what they do with the drilling, all that job that they're doing, the $3,000, is also preventing bed bugs. So to them, it's okay. We saved the $3,000. On the commercial level, for property owners, we solve a whole other thing. This is one issue. They don't have a system. They have a system to manage their properties, the rent rolls and everything, but they don't have a system to do the bidding. But at the same time, while we can use the same system we just spoke about for the consumer, they do have properties have handymen in the building, right? So they're full-time pay, right? So you don't need to pay them. They have tenants who need things. So we kind of came up with a system that does all of it. They can choose to use our own vendors or their own vendors. And we already have over 30 companies, commercial companies, that already saw our product that committed to using it. So we've done some leads on that end. We've done one lead which sticks out. We did for 3 buildings, power washing. That's washing the outside of the buildings. We got 5 quotes: 10,000, 18,000, 50, 65, and 90,000.
Wow.
So right away we're like,
job.
for the same job.
Wow.
Right away we're like, wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So we analyzed the lead, which will charge money, by the way, if you want to analyze on the commercial level. And we found out, we called one of the bigger guys, we asked them about their quote, and I said, one guy sent me a quote for $10,000. Do you think it's just it's a scam? It's possible to do? He said, yeah, there's no chance. Just the lift, the price of the lift, the machine that takes you up and down the building is over 20 grand. So then I called the small guy under 20 grand. I spoke to him, and he says, generally we do have lifts and we incorporate that price, but these buildings are industrial buildings and they're only 2 stories high. We don't need them. We saved $50,000 on one job. So yeah, you can use it to save money. You can use it just to rely on reviews, or not even save money, just not get ripped off.
You can even educate yourself in the industry.
Exactly.
Because you're calling people, you're figuring out what's the best solution to do these things.
Precisely.
Another question I had is, are you guys strictly in the States right now? Are you guys planning to go global, or where are you guys located? Like, where can
Great
you go?
question. One thing we like to do for the ICO people, everyone's be able to can relate to this and use this. We're going to go global. Okay. We already have millions of vendors in the United States, and we're already starting to pull vendors in other countries. Our system is, we're not reinventing the wheel. All we're doing is connecting you to vendors directly with no middleman, and we're letting them know what's going on to an extent. They can't see what the other guy's saying, but knowing that if 10 other vendors respond, I'm not going to waste my time, but 2 or 3 I will, and they're not going to take you on a road and try to highball you. It's a very simple system. Now the blockchain and all that, that's all global. It doesn't matter where we launch. We just need to have enough vendors to invite the leads. So yes, to answer your question, we plan on going global. We're already starting to plan for it. We started building up our vendor database, and hopefully we'll get there soon enough. So
that's awesome. So for investor purposes,
sure.
Where can they find a little bit more information about YINC? Do you guys have an ICO? What's the deal there?
So the name is YINC. YINC stands for You're in Control. YINC.com. We are planning on launching our ICO, our pre-sale, in the coming weeks. Right now we're just finishing the last details, the white paper touch-ups and the videos and all that. We hired one of the top law firms, Cooley, Marco Santori with Cooley, just to make sure we are SEC compliant. We plan on launching our pre-sale as a security with SAFT and so on and so forth, and our actual ICO sale will be as a utility. Our token is a utility, but we have to have the tokens consumable. So we're going to be doing that while we're doing our pre-sale. It just takes time, and we'll be launching soon. Our tokens, by the way, are going to be used on both sides. We're going to pay consumers in tokens to review, right? We're incentivizing you to review, and we pay you even more to become referencer. The token can be used on the site to pay vendors and vice versa. Because YINC stands for You're in Control, you don't actually have to use our token, and you don't have to accept a token. A vendor can accept in any currency he wants. My vendors are old school, they may not understand it. Vendors can pay their subscription fees. We don't take a fee of the job. Annual fee or monthly fee, 6 months in after they get some leads, they pay us an annual monthly fee. If they choose to pay us this fee in our currency, in our token, they get a big discount, let's say 20% off. So there's value in spending in the currency. YINC takes 20% of all its revenue and buys back currency quarterly or annually on the market to replenish the pool that's paying for the reviews. So you as token holders, I hope that you invest because you believe in the project and you actually use it on our platform. But you can also hold on, there will be value. If you believe in our company, we're going to make money, and we're going to have to buy tokens on the market to replenish our pool to pay the consumers, yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jonathan. I really like your project, and good luck in your future
I would
endeavors.
also add, by the way, we'd love to hear anybody's input, anybody's feedback.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you'd want us to get to, any country or any kind of category that you think is important? I mean, we plan on getting everywhere, even lawyers and doctors, but we're starting with home services, photography, designers, photographers, you know, whatever it is you're looking for, but we want to hear from you. Yeah, thank you so much.
For sure, yeah, anytime.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.